Hello everybody, welcome back. I've been doing a lot of jumping around lately from Star Wars save file. I'm tweaking my Harry Potter save file, God help me, and just doing some extra little random stuff just because I've been watching all this great stuff lately. I've been so excited about oddly Five Nights at Freddy's and K-pop Demon Hunters, so I've been really jumping around, so it's really been a bit challenging to keep my focus on the Star Wars save. But then I thought to myself, it's fine, just do what's fun for you, do what's relaxing for you, because you never want to just like force something. If I'm not passionate about my current build, what is the point? So this is one I was actually really excited about because I'd had it in my mind since the beginning of the Star Wars save. I knew I wanted to do Dez's diner because the goal of the Star Wars save was to incorporate more community lots, and I couldn't help but think from the second prequel movie where Obi-Wan just randomly has like an alien friend who owns a diner, and they've obviously got like some history and stuff, and it's really cute, and he owns a diner and he tells Obi-Wan about, the clone, the clone facility and everything, blah blah blah, Cypher Diaz, etc. And I'm like, oh man, I really want to make that diner. So it's not the exact diner from the movie. It's a bit different. It's a lot more, I suppose, geared towards the objects we got within the Journey to Batuu pack. So it's very much a bit more rustic. It's less 1980s, 1970s-esque, because that's really what it was in the movies. This is a little more steampunk and a lot more, I suppose, urban. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting out with the base and the surrounding areas. As you can see, I've got already a bit of an established foundation. So next door is actually Padme's tower, which I'm in the middle of building at the moment. And so that's in the works now, and you'll see that a bit later. But I've decided to just move on to other things while I get inspiration for that. And next door, I knew I wanted to do Dez's diner. So I've done like a railway system connecting the lots. So if you look between the lots, there's like a little railway line with a train and everything. And this is just me starting the foundations of Coruscant. As you can see, you've got like the road and the surrounding lots and everything. And it's all just going to be city. I'm using the tool mod like crazy, and I'm putting in as much stuff as I can, trying to keep it Star Wars-esque, because at the end of the day, I can make a city, but it needs to be a Star Wars city. So making sure I am using a lot of Journey to Batuu shell items and keeping it very sort of in the air, because a lot of Star Wars, the speeders and the ships and the floating islands and the everything, Coruscant's less about what's happening on the ground and more of what's happening in the air. So I did sort of want to lean into that. And so what I've done is I've done the diner like on a rooftop. And the idea is that if you want to get to Dez's diner, you have to like take a speeder and park it out front. I've made this little platform out front where you can jump off your speeder, walk up the steps, and you'll be in the diner. So I like the idea that the speeders are going to be like floating there, which I thought was really cool. And just trying to sort of incorporate all the color tones in with each other and not make it look funny. So I really enjoyed that aspect of Coruscant, but Coruscant was like a mammoth task. It's really big, and it's a lot of objects, and it's a lot of in-depth stuff, and I'm just slowly working my way through it, but it's turning out really great, which I really like. In terms of Dez's diner itself, I did like how it turned out. It's rustic. The interior I have some issues with, which I'll go over in a little bit later in the video, but the outside of it, I love the outside, because I've basically just done very steampunk. I wanted it to feel cramped as well, like not too big. And a fun thing is that, I'm doing that thing again where I place down an elevator and your sim will actually spawn on the elevator. So they won't spawn in the street when they come to Dez's diner. They'll spawn directly on the rooftop, as if they've just jumped out of their speeder and gone and gotten some food. Now with the outside of the diner, I wanted it to be very minimal. So it's kind of like an indoor-outdoor diner, wherein you go inside to order your food, and then you can go outside and that's where you eat it. So you've got like a bar set up out there and everything, but the interior is basically just kitchen, ordering area, and a little bathroom, which I thought was just really appropriate. So I didn't want to like cramp everybody into a really tight space. I wanted it to feel like the people, whoever Des is that owns this bar or diner, he knows he hasn't got a lot of space. So he's just basically utilizing every single nook and cranny of the rooftop that he can to fit customers in. So he's got people eating outside. He's got like his dumpster and everything. It's not hygienic. It doesn't look hygienic. There's garbage everywhere. And I tried to keep it really Star Wars-esque, but like Coruscant low-income Star Wars-esque. And I absolutely loved how it turned out. I tell you what though, I really, really love what I've done with this outdoor section. Like the use of like the canopies that I've got just right here, it was so fun. I felt like so inspired by it, and I just wanted it to feel, it's think like arcane and just a little bit, alien-esque, and you've just got random aliens everywhere. It's a real pit stop. Like people stop here during their day, maybe they're on their way to work, maybe they're just visiting Coruscant and they just want a cheap meal or a cheap drink, and this is where they come to, which I thought was really fun. And it feels a bit like a pit. It feels not hygienic and cramped and everything, and it has vibes, and I really, really love the vibes of this place. But basically for a lot of it, I was just finding random crap and just basically putting it in and finding a place where it sort of made sense, because I felt like the maximalist in me was coming out in this build, and the more stuff I could put in and the more intricate I could make it look, the more intentional everything looked, like built in, kind of established within the world. I didn't want any small spaces, I didn't want any clean spaces. I wanted it all to feel very cramped and just like it was falling apart at the seams kind of thing, and I think I did it, really. But I'm excited to really just branch out from the actual lots itself. Like, of course, I have to build all of the lots, and then I can focus on what's around the lots, like the world building and everything. But I'm really excited to make it like a neon jungle kind of thing, like very urban. And I want to put in like a lot of advertisements that have neon elements. So at night, Coruscant is going to look absolutely insane. I think when I've done building all the lots in the neighborhood, I'll go back and I'll actually just incorporate a whole bunch of neon lighting everywhere. And I'll pop in like TV screens and the signage that you get within The Sims 4. There's a lot of neon stuff in there, which I think is really fun. I'll make it big, I'll make it floating, and I will plaster the city in this neon lighting, and I'll make it like all different colors and everything. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. However, it's going to take me a really long time, but I am up for the challenge. But otherwise, I was just having an absolute blast with this build. Like, it wasn't First Order, and it wasn't Tatooine, and it wasn't the Rebels. It was just something completely different than what I'd done so far, and it was such a nice change from what I was going to be doing with Coruscant from here on out, because the rest of Coruscant is basically one of two things. It's either very fancy, so you've got like the Jedi Temple, you've got the Senate, you've got the apartments for everyone that lives above ground, and then you've got the other side of it, which is everyone that lives like below ground, the low income Coruscant people. So you've got your Des's diners, you've got your apartments that sink into the basement levels that absolutely just are covered in garbage and everything, and it looks really cool, but people are cramped into little apartments, and it's It's got a lot of personality to it, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's that real duality with Coruscant in this particular suburb, so I'm looking forward to it. I also want to put in, like, I'm unreasonably excited about putting in speeders as if they've got, like, roads in the sky kind of thing. So imagine just like a long line of speeders in a row floating in the sky as if they're on their way to something, like they're actually in a road that's invisible to the naked eye. I find that so cool. I don't know why, but I just like the idea of it. I love floating things, honestly. I love anytime I can make something float in the sky. I'm like, yes, that's amazing. Another thing I really loved about this build was, I haven't done it yet, and I don't think I do it within this video. I go back and I do it later. But you see how I've put a robot behind the counter? Love that idea. It's like, yes, I'm really leaning into the Star Wars aspect, because, of course, they use droids for absolutely everything. Now, I put this orange guy in at first, but then I actually go back and I pop in the robot DJ, which you get with the Journey to Batuu pack, and I've used that item once, I think, in Jabba's palace, because it's so big, it's massive. And I'm like, where else can I put this? But I was really excited about it because that particular object, the robot that's actually, at the DJ table, he moves independently. And I'm like, oh my God, if I can pop in an object that actually moves independently from everything else, which I totally, totally love, that's going to be so cool, because someone can, sit down with their actual food, because this is an actual functional restaurant. They can sit down with their cheap Star Wars food at the bar, and on the other side of the bar, there'll be this robot that not only is he a DJ that's playing cool music, but he also moves as if he's making you a drink or making you your food right there on the spot. So it's a real dining experience. It's cheap and probably going to give you food poisoning, but it's an experience. So happy and excited about that. It's just, I love little hooks like that make me passionate about a build, because, like, anyone could just go in and do a build, but I always love little hooks where it's like, there's got to be something exciting about the build that I haven't done before, or something that I would like to challenge myself on. So for this one, it was definitely like the rooftop aspect of the build, and making it a little bit steampunk and a little bit grungy and very urban, and it was just fun. Now, for the interiors, oh God, the interiors, it's not great because for whatever reason, I will admit this, the Sims 4 would just not let me build walls within the interior of this diner. So I had to sort of get creative with it and go, okay, I'm going to divide the space up into 3 sections. The middle section will be the kitchen, and it's going to have access on either side. And then one side will be the bathroom, and then the other side will be the area where you meet your host and you order your food, and then you go sit down. And I had to do all of this without any walls whatsoever. So I had to sort of divide the space using the top things, the cabinets. And then I get out some dividers from the decor section. And obviously, it's a very open weave interior, because there's a whole bathroom and a kitchen in there right next to each other. It's not hygienic. My mother was a health and safety officer for like a couple years. So she's horrified. But I'm really big on, whenever I go out to someplace, I'm big on like the hygiene, and I'm like, oh, how are they doing? Are they washing their hands and everything? And, oh, does this feel clean? So I would not be able to eat at this place. I'd be terrified of food poisoning. You'd see me at the bar, and I'd be like cutting open the meat of the alien or whatever I'm eating, and I'd turn to the guy next to me and going, do you think that's cooked? Does that look a bit pink to you? It drives my family crazy, but that's what I'm like at every meal. Anywho, I'm very cautious. I don't think I've ever had proper food poisoning. Not today. No, there's a reason for that. So yeah, I've got like, oh my God, I've got like a vomit streak going on. I haven't vomited since I was like 13. Super proud of it, and I'm gonna keep that streak going. So no, food poisoning is not for me. Anywho, that was a really weird tangent, but here I am doing the interiors, and I'm just trying to divide up the space. I want to put in like the fireplace and everything. I'm putting down like the waiting area, some seating and everything, trying to keep it really Star Wars themed as always, so it's accessible, but it's also functional as a restaurant, which I thought was really cool. I am going to go have to play test this because I actually haven't play tested it as a restaurant, so I'm going to go and do that, and it's going to be really fun. And I have to remember to make Des so he can own the restaurant, so he can set the food as being Star Wars specific, which I think is really fun, because if you go to this diner, you're only going to be able to order food that you got from the Journey to Batuu pack, which is fun, which I'm excited about. So happy days. It all just sort of blends into one another, and it's the kind of cohesion that I like. Anywho, I really like this build. I'm happy that I got to build it, and it makes me laugh that it's like right next to Padme's tower as well. It's like all the rich people are like turning up their nose at the fact that his diner is just here on this rooftop, and they just have to look at it outside their windows, because typically all the grungy stuff is below ground, but no, Des has got a rooftop diner, so good for Des. Anywho, I think that's really about it. Loved this build, and I thought it's soft, it's functional as well, and it's a restaurant, and we love community lots within our save files, so happy days everybody. But thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, or if you have any suggestions for what you want to see in the future, feel free to give a like and a subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day, okay? Bye bye.